friends. Nice to see you today. It's been a busy one already. I had to go to court for my other case, which is the domestic violence charge, which is not, it's actually a disorderly conduct charge, like, because I had a fight with Tyler. So that's what they said to me. Oh, disorderly conduct, that just means you had a fight. So, I don't know. But still, got it thrown out. No big deal. It's gone. It's done. Never been on my record. Stupid thing that I'm glad is over and took way too much time and energy from my life. Just a really stupid thing. If you don't have to call the cops, just don't do it. It's never worth it. It's never worth it. I mean, unless something really bad happens and you need to report it, but otherwise, if it's anything that you can get through yourself, if it's something that doesn't require you to go to the hospital or something, try and deal with it yourself, because cops just complicate everything. I was the one that called. I called because I had been assaulted. And when they came, there were a lot of things wrong about the way they came, but one of the biggest things is that they came and they saw Tyler walking down the road, so they stopped him first, and they asked him if I had taken my medication today. And he asked him if I should go to the hospital, if he thought that I should go to the hospital. So they're already collecting information about me. They're coming at me with this bias, obviously, this knowledge of who I am and what's going on with me, and asking him, the assaulter, the perpetrator, questions about what to do about me, the caller, the victim. So I think they already knew what they were going to do before they even got to my house. So I got to my house and I told them the story and showed them video. And if they had actually watched and listened to the video, then they would have heard and seen what happened. But instead they just watched with no sound. So they missed a critical part of the video that shows exactly when the thing happened. Yeah. So even with all that, okay, I said, he's got a criminal past with this kind of stuff in it. I said, they told me they have to be fair and impartial. With every call, they have to be fair and impartial. But I don't think they were very fair and impartial to me when they had already been asking if I'd taken my medication or if he thought that I should go to the hospital. That's not coming to me without any preconceived ideas about what's going on. What were the words I just used?
Fair and impartial.
Fair and impartial. Yeah. So they weren't fair and impartial to me. So all of these things seem to just blow right by them. So I've started just to make reports about things that I'm not happy with. Times when I feel like I'm being discriminated against by the police, I'm just reporting it, because if I don't, then there won't be a record of report, and I won't have been a leg to stand on if something really bad does happen. But being a woman and being disabled, especially mentally disabled, they really they don't believe me, and they don't want to help me, and they don't want to listen to me. They think that I'm crazy because men have told them that. So I don't know. Just be careful. Try not to get involved if you can. Well, but anyway, we're on our way to therapy. I'm on my way to therapy. I'm going to start my first DBT, intensive DBT work course, or whatever, session. There you go. And I've got Sadie with me. Sadie, can I see you? There you are. She's so cute. I see her cute in her little seat back here. Hi, baby. How you doing? She's got her little seatbelt and everything. So she's going to come with and hopefully keep me awake, because I tend to dip right at this time, and I always want to take a nap right around 2 or 3. But my therapist always schedules me for right then, so I'm always fighting going taking a nap in her office, and it makes me antsy, and so I want to get out of there quicker. And okay, we'll see how it goes this time. My therapist and I have a long relationship. We've been seeing each other now for 4 or 5 years, but I don't know that we gel as well with our personalities and stuff. I'm trying, and I know she's a good therapist. So, and I really don't want to go start over and have to tell somebody else all my whole life story and everything. She's already been there and she knows, and now she shortchanging myself by just not wanting to switch, not wanting to do the work to switch, and missing out on somebody else. We'll see. We'll see. But that's the haps. Ah, nice shirt. Where'd you get that?
I got it.
Yes. When I dress Tyler, it's a whole different experience for him.
Good stuff.
Yeah. He got so many compliments today. It was really nice for him, I think, right?
I did.
Do you like compliments?
I do.
Yeah. Everybody does. People were nice to me today, too. Went to the grocery store, spent over $100 on pretty much not much. Like, it's getting a little scary out there. There's some good sales, and thank God for that, but...
Four bottles of hair product was $30 by itself.
Oh my God. Yeah, just trying to, what's gonna happen? What's happening? All right, I'm gonna get myself in tune and focused now. Get ready to start doing some hard work. And I will catch you guys in a bit. Hi guys. We just got back from therapy, and Sadie came with me. She's my BPD service dog. That's an actual thing. You can get an actual service dog, a real certified service dog. So she's on her way to be that. She's in training right now, and she's doing great. She's doing great. She just sat there. I told her to sit and stay, and she did it. And she did it perfectly. And she just sat there on the floor and stared at me the whole time. And then after a little while, she laid down. And she just relaxed, and she was perfect. She didn't make a sound. You're a sweet, perfect girl. You are. Mwah. So I've been kind of self-conscious to bring her places, and it feels like I'm trying to get away with something or something. I don't know. It's just been weird, but no, I need her. I need her, and she helps, and I'm gonna use her because I'm allowed to, and it helps me, and hopefully that will be a major difference in moving through the world from now on. But anyway, so this morning I went to court again. This time it was for the domestic, what was it? Disorderly conduct. I think, did I mention that? I don't know. Disorderly conduct charge from when I got in a fight with Tyler. And he assaulted me, and then I got taken to jail because the cops know me and they know I have a mental illness. So luckily they threw it out. So Tyler's come with me every time to court, and he's adamantly told them that it was his fault and that it's not my fault and I shouldn't be charged with anything and that I don't have any criminal record and, all these things. So he told everybody he possibly could, from the family relations people to the state's attorney. And the judge heard it too, I guess, because when she was announcing the case, she said the other person involved has been pretty adamant about, that you don't deserve punishment for this and that, all that. So I got what's called a NAMI. No, not NAMI. That's the National Association for Mental Illness. It's called a NALI. And I don't even know what that acronym stands for, but it's essentially they throw it out. They said the only condition is that I don't get in another fight. So I don't see that happening, but I would have preferred to not have any conditions because I don't feel like I did anything that warranted that charge or being arrested or having to do anything to, I didn't do it. So I don't want any part of it on my, I feel like I shouldn't have any demerits against me, anything against me because it wasn't my fault. But this is a thing you don't even, I didn't even plead guilty or plead not guilty or didn't have to do any of that. They just threw it out. We just met with them a few times and they threw it out. So I'm done with that. That's over. No more court. I was going to have to, when I was talking to the state's attorney, and he told me that, he was telling me about the conditions, the NALI and the conditions. And, he was telling it to me like it was like great news, and he's like, yeah, okay, it's going to be dismissed as a NALI, but it'll have conditions, and the conditions will just be don't fight again. He said that the court was talking about maybe having me go to a program. I definitely would have fought against that because I didn't do this. I don't deserve this. But so I went and applied for a public defender. And when I went back into the courtroom and they called me up, there was a public defender there. I had the option to just continue the case, have a continuance, and then I would have to meet with the attorney and then come back for another hearing. But so the woman who was acting as, I guess, like the public defender, she just kind of looked at me when we were up there, standing up there, and she's like, "You're not going to fight again, right?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Just take this." Because the state's attorney couldn't give me any legal advice. Because I asked him, like, okay, is this the best thing I should do? Should I just do this and take this and that's it and it'll be fine? And he was like, well, I can't give you that advice. They're so careful about it. Like, I can't be the one to tell you that. But it seemed obvious to me in the district or public attorney's demeanor and face that she was like, just do this. So I did it, and it's over, and it'll be off my record in a couple months. I just have to not get any more fights. And I hope that no stupid men lie about me anymore. Speaking of which, I just got back from therapy. And it was more insightful maybe than I even thought it was going to be, because I found out that the entire time that I was in the hospital fighting for my life, after I tried to unalive myself because Sean left, I was that distraught and upset. And that's one of the reasons Sean was my caregiver. He was supposed to be here to prevent me from committing that if I felt the need or the want, if I was compelled. And he left, and I didn't have anybody here to help me, and nobody was watching me, and I did it. I did it. And I ended up in the hospital, and they didn't know if I was going to live or die. And that's what my therapist was talking about today, the day that I had texted my therapist and my doctor goodbye notes. And I guess my therapist the next day went into the psychiatrist's office and said, I got this text from Sasha. It doesn't really sound like her. Is everything okay? And that's when he had to be like, no, everything's really not okay. She's in the hospital and fighting for her life. So, what a harrowing experience. It was really, I don't know. I mean, it's so weird I lost five weeks of life. That everybody else did life and I just was not here. So it's really weird. It's still really weird for me to try to I don't know. It's just the world went on. People had these 5 weeks of experience that I wasn't a part of in any way. So during that 5 weeks, apparently, Sean had been talking a lot to my psychiatrist and my psychologist, my therapist. And he had been sort of trying to convince them that I was out of control, completely out of control. He tried to kind of convince them that I was so delusional that I didn't know what was going on at all. That I was violent and that he was just trying to paint me as a bad person. He was trying to convince them that I'm not worthwhile to continue to care for or whatever. It's just shock, and it hurts every time I hear stuff like this, but I'm kind of somebody could have given me the heads up a little earlier, because they said my doctor has dealt with this in a more casual, nice way. He's just basically said you don't need that guy. He's a piece of trash. You don't even know. What I don't know is what he was actually saying about me and feeling and thinking about me. He didn't tell me. It's crappy to find out, man. It hurts. It does make it easier to move on, though, because, and so we talked about today how, right, when the cops came here for when Tyler and I got in the fight, the cops stopped Tyler down the road and asked him if I needed medication or if I needed to go to the hospital. So they were already biased towards me. And Peggy says that she believes that Sean set up the cops, or because he called the cops a few times on me, and I always went to the hospital. I never got arrested, but he tried to make the cops believe that I'm completely out of control. And I told you that one time I called him with a lawyer, and the lawyer called him while I was on the phone, or while I was in the room, and he said, I can't believe you'd even take a client like that. It really speaks to your credibility that you would even represent somebody like this. As if I don't deserve representation, as if I'm not a valid, worth human being with any worth. I mean, what does he think, that I should just die in the street? Like, I'm pretty shocked about this. I thought I knew him. We were together for so long. 10 years I was with this guy, and I wonder for how many that he hated me. Why did he stay so long if he hated me? I don't get it. But he's continuing to, I don't know if I told you that I don't think I did, but he stole more money. I went to get groceries last night. I took out as much as I could when I was at the bank earlier so that he couldn't take it, but there was still $525 left in there. And I went to the grocery store last night, and tried to spend $75, and the card got declined on $75. So I went to the kiosk, the ATM, to see if there was any information there about what was happening, like get a balance inquiry at least, and it said that there was an error and it couldn't read my card. So went to the actual Webster, the bank that it is, their kiosk, they're one of their ATMs of their locations, and straight up it said the card was stolen. So he reported my debit card to my account stolen, so that I can't use it anymore. And I guess he took the money, the rest of the money. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he thinks that I'm so incompetent that I can't, that I'm not going to pursue this, or that I don't know what he thinks, but he's going to be sorry when everything starts coming down, because the Social Security office has a case against him, and they told me that they deal with it in their own way, and they will deal with it, that my stuff's taken care of and I don't have to worry about it anymore, and they will continue to deal with him. I filed a police report against him. I will file another one. And if we've got the congressman's office, so there's that fire under Social Security's butt to get something done, and cops. And now we're going to call the inspector general. We just called the inspector general, and they're very interested too. Also going to still go to adult protective services to talk about the abandonment and the neglect and the financial abuse, because these are all serious. I'm just shocked. And all of this was happening while I was on my deathbed. He texted my therapist and said, "Can I talk to you as a friend?" He wanted free therapy from my therapist when he's already gotten basically free therapy the whole time I've been going, because I had him come in the room with me every single time. I kind of wish I hadn't done that now, but I wasn't sure if I was perceiving reality correctly, and I wanted somebody else in there to hear what people were saying so that he could clarify to me. Or sometimes if I get upset, I can mishear things or misunderstand things, and I wanted him to be that solid voice of, reason and groundedness or whatever. But I didn't know how against me he was, and they didn't tell me. They could see it before. They alluded to, you guys, they had alluded to us breaking up and not lasting long, stuff like that, which I always thought was strange. But I guess they were really seeing something that I wasn't, and they kept saying, "You weren't happy, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy, you weren't happy." And so I guess that's what it was, and I couldn't see it for what it was. I just don't know why this person has decided to be so vicious and vindictive against me. I didn't do anything to make him this way. He's the one who cheated. He's the one who lied. He's the one who abandoned me after he promised to, the state that he would be here to take care of me. He's the one that stole my car. He's the one that's manipulating my bank account. I don't even know. I don't know who this person is. I never in a million years would have said that he would do anything like this. I trusted him. It took a long time, but I trusted him. After a long time, I trusted him. And you just don't know people. You don't know people. Even if you know them for a decade, you just don't know them. And as soon as you're not giving them what they want, or you're not valuable to them in whatever way they want you, like, they'll just turn on you. It's bizarre. I don't understand it, because I couldn't do it to somebody. I couldn't just stop caring. Even if Sean and I had broke up and he had gotten in an accident at work or something, he was in the hospital, I would have gone to see him and make sure he's okay and helped him out. So it's crazy to me that while I'm on my deathbed, they didn't know. That's another thing my therapist was just talking about, was how scared she was during that time, when they were talking about it, if I made it through. They were saying if I make it. So they didn't know. Nobody knew. Doctors didn't know if I was going to come back. They didn't know if I was going to be brain damaged, or what I was going to come back as. And it was close. I was at one hospital and they couldn't wake me up. They tried everything and they couldn't wake me up. So I was only being transferred to another hospital, to the Yale hospital, that really changed the course of my treatment, and they were able to get me out of a coma and then start caring for me. And I had to get my lungs strong again. I don't really understand how it all works. I don't know why my lungs were the ones that is what was damaged after taking, pills and stuff. That's how I did it. And then I had all these strange results, which, were like, I don't know, it's hard for me to think about and talk about too. But just to know that somebody was out there while I was fighting for my life, somebody was out there slandering me all around any way they could to people who I trusted. I mean, was he trying to get in between me and my support, the only support system that I have? It doesn't make any sense. It's so cruel. I just don't get it. Can someone tell me what this is about? Has this ever happened to you? Has anybody ever switched up on you like that? Like, I've had plenty of breakups where, you're angry at the point of breakup, but you don't try to hurt each other more and more and more. You just move on. And eventually you can probably be friends again because you didn't try to hurt each other. But this is crazy. I don't know this person. I'll never talk to this person again. So this best friend that I've had for a decade is just... And that decade, I can't even go to the memories of it because it's just too painful because of the way it turned out. So I've got to start erasing these almost 6,000 pictures I have of Sean on my phone. That's a little sad because those are my memories from my life, a huge part of my life, some of the best years of my life. And having him be part of the pictures and part of the memories is not, it kills it. It kills everything that I thought was good at the time. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing well with this or not. The doctors say that I'm resilient and that they're surprised at how well I am doing, but I don't feel like I'm doing very well. And I know they say it takes a long time to get over somebody. The nurses at the hospital said it takes 1/3 of the time that you were with somebody to get over them. So if that's true, that would be like 3 years that I would still be getting over him. But I guess this whole campaign that he went on, and the fact that he has shown me that he absolutely hates me and wants to change everybody else's perception of me too. That just shows me that he's a true narcissist. That's narcissist playbook 101. If you can't get to the person anymore, if you can't make them upset personally, then you try to change other people's perception of them. And that's what he was doing. My own doctors, the police, probably my landlord. I think my own mother, he even tried to say that I was, not acting honorably or something. So it's a good thing that my mom was as mean to him as she was, because who knows what I could have lost Sadie. I could have lost my dog. He wanted her, and he asked for her. And if she had given her to him, even if it was under the understanding that, like, you're just watching her until Sasha gets out of the hospital, I don't think I ever would have seen her again. I would have never seen her again. He would have done that to me. I guarantee. He wanted to get into my money while I was unconscious, while I was fighting for my life. That was his concern, so that he could move on. Even though he had a new girlfriend, he was cheating. He was cheating since July, since before he left here. He was cheating while he let me give him all those birthday presents. 43 presents on his 43rd birthday, and for him to just tell me and tell everybody what a horrible person I am, when all I ever tried to do was nice things for him. And I supported him for 8 of the 10 years. Up until about 8 months ago or something, when he got this new job, he has never been able to support himself. So he's always depended on me to at least, be the main contributor. I don't know why I let him. I thought he makes the food and he does most of the cleaning. And God, why was that enough for me? Like, that's not barely anything. Everybody has to do that. You live in a home, and there's chores to do. They have to be done. Somebody's got to cook, and he's just good at it. He's a cook. He's a chef. So it was easy for him. He wanted that to be his domain. He didn't want me to go in there, so that's the way it was. And right, that left the burden on him to make food, but he didn't mind it, and he wanted it, and that's just the way we operated. I didn't know he was building up so much resentment towards me. I don't know. I know I did a lot of things wrong, but I don't think I deserved this. I don't deserve what he's still doing. So soon this will all be over. Now I have my own bank account, not attached to Sean at all. My next checks will go in there, and he will not have access to any of my money. So it's just about whether or not I'm going to get back everything he took or not. And that's kind of what Social Security and the Inspector General are kind of for, is to rectify what he did do. So the biggest thing is I have to have access to those bank records. And the bank is being very difficult and is not wanting to give me the records from before I became my own payee, which was just yesterday. They don't want to give me the previous records. Well, that's the records I need to know how much Sean took out. So the cops are either going to have to help me, which I have made a formal request for the police help. And if the police can't do it, then maybe Social Security can do it, because it's set up kind of under their guidance. Because they were the ones that were providing the funds. I don't know. Maybe the Inspector General is the one to have to go to the bank. I can't believe I'm in this. I cannot believe that I'm in this. We talked about, if we were going to break up, that it was going to be amicable and that we would be friends. There was no reason. There was nothing that he couldn't talk to me about. Nothing that he couldn't discuss with me that we couldn't have come to some kind of resolution on. Even if he wanted to tell me that he hated me and never, he could have told me those things, and it would have been less painful than what he's done. Less painful than all this, like, behind my back, under my nose, kind of, like, sabotage. I just don't get it. I don't know. What do you think? Open for any advice, please. I don't understand this. So if anyone's got any insight or any words of encouragement, please, I would love them. Thank you. And I will catch you on the flip. Bye, guys.